welcome into the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. And it is smiles across the table today as Spain and England will be advancing to the quarterfinals. I'm Sara Pararia, joined alongside the one, the only, Klinton. Cod is in the house.
The forever one and only. It's your boy Klinton Cod. Wagwan. England qualified.
Wait. We're gonna get into that one because Alex Ashmore is here with a smug face, and he shouldn't be so smug because what terrible football did England play last night? My goodness.
Oh, geez.
No comment. We're through.
I mean, I guess the it's what happens at the end that matters, right?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean, Alex is one of us. Sometimes we need to learn how to make our own happy, okay? I mean, I could come here and piss him off already, but you know, it's a happy day that the Lord has made, that Alex should be happy and rejoice in the Lord, bro. Come on, Pastor Alex, say amen.
That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Our saviour, Mr. Jude Bellingham, thank you very much, sir.
All right, guys, make sure you follow us on all of our socials, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Insta. We are here every single match day. Come with us on the journey. Actually, really quickly, we have to say thank you to all of us because, Klinton, what did we just find out?
You know what? Let's keep what we just find out for later.
All right, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yes.
I like that a lot.
Yes.
Also, guys, tonight's Sporty live at 4 p.m. WAT, 3 p.m. GMT time, an hour ahead of the Belgium and France match. So check that out. They'll be there for some, post-game and pre-game analysis. But here's what we have coming up on today's show.
On today's show, we first take a look at all of yesterday's action, including England's dramatic comeback win and Spain's victory over Georgia. We then look at the big game of the day, as France face Belgium in a repeat of the classic rivalry. Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal are also in action as they face Slovenia. All that and more on today's Sporty Show.
All right, Alex, let's start with that England match because I think there's a lot to discuss here. Winning in extra time, 2-1. Jude Bellingham with the amazing bicycle kick, obviously, to get them there in the first place in what was the final moments of the match. But how are you feeling? How are you feeling today overall? And be honest with me.
I'm feeling, I will be honest, delighted. Okay. I think the euphoria from minute 95 to minute 120 plus, you know, life got close to what it felt like when Luke Shaw scored that goal against Italy. It was not how we wanted to do it, but we did it. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. If you go through a whole tournament not playing your best football, but you get the results, that's the most important thing. And I think, in a way, and this may feel like a biased compliment, but when you're playing at your worst and you can still get a win, I think that says something about a team. Obviously,
whatever it says about the team is rubbish.
But if you're still able to get the win when you're playing badly, it says something.
What it says, look, listen, I've told you, my problem with Alex here is Alex likes painting. Alex could literally tell you that the devil, there's a part of the devil that we should embrace because listen, at least he was chilling with God at some point in his life and he probably did some really good things with God. The fact that he's committed sin and they've thrown you down to earth, it doesn't mean we should that's who Alex is, right? Alex, call a spade for once. Like that's, you don't need to be coming here every day and be trying to make people look good, right? England, they were terrible, but they just escaped with a win. They escaped.
I will be
escaped.
Honest. It was, I think it would go down as the worst performance I've seen from England in a long time. You know, flashbacks to when we lost to Iceland in the 2016
This was worse.
Euros.
In my opinion, this was worse.
As a performance, this was worse. Not only, I think, in terms of the players we had back then, you know, it just felt lackadaisical. This time, we know we have the players. We have the ability. I've said this countless times. We should be, on paper, winning this tournament. Yeah. You know, I'm not saying comfortably, but we should be the outright favourites with the team players we have. I know Spain and Germany are very good, but England should be at that level with those two teams. Yeah. The players that we have, we should not be celebrating in that manner. It's fine to celebrate it when we do it, fine. Bellingham scored an absolutely amazing goal. One of the best goals I've ever seen.
Sorry. Hold on. You see, sometimes I like us not to start travelling past the speed of whatever plane that we're about to get.
Alex is trying to sugarcoat.
No. I mean, and I've told you that's my problem with Alex on this show. Alex, I'm beginning to. You're definitely not going to be a judge anymore. You know, I used to call you a judge on this show.
No.
Now,
So
what
I'm saying, I was getting to the crux of my point. I think. Generally, we played awfully. I will admit that. England were shocking yesterday. It was one of the worst performances I've seen from any team in a while. I think defensively we looked a bit flat. I think Trippier obviously coming off was a big loss. Putting Saka at left back was a bold decision. I think it, was something that I wouldn't like to see again.
Interesting choice of words.
But I think when I look at the midfield, I said this exactly yesterday. You can just play the clip I said yesterday. There's no link between the midfield and the attack. There's no direct forward play. It's just flat. It's lacking in ideas. And when I think back to the majority of the match yesterday, I think for quite a large part of it, I was sat there with my head in my hands, just thinking, shaking my head at poor passes, poor decision making, and the tactics as well. It almost feels like we keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, and it's just not.
No, that's
working.
exactly what you're doing. It's not almost if.
It's not, but
you are doing this. What's happening?
At some point,
Alex,
Southgate has to realise it's not going to work. The tactics.
I don't know if he can.
The personnel. I think it was brilliant starting Kobe Mino. He needs to do more. The players that he brought on. Anthony Gordon sat on the bench again. Bring him on. These players. He did bring them on at the end, and we saw a spark. Why doesn't he realise that these players need to come on sooner and start games?
By the way, we need to correct something, though. The goal from Jude Bellingham, it was a good goal, right? I understand that people keep calling it bicycle kick, because Sarah, I just heard you say bicycle kick. Now, that is not a bicycle kick to me, okay? That's a scooter.
The one leg was...
That's a scooter kick, okay? Now, a bicycle kick is what Cristiano Ronaldo, Garnacho, like, you see, those ones, they fly. They take a flight,
and the flight.
right? And then,
now, one leg was still
now,
stationary.
Jude Bellingham's one was like, it was fasting. You know, when you're hungry and there's not enough protein and carbohydrate in the food, you know how you would react to it, right? That's that bicycle kick we had from Jude Bellingham. It was good. It was, the goal literally brought out the whole spirit again back to it for England, and it gave them that momentum to say, okay, you know what? There's a possibility that we could still go. Now, that's why I think the goal is special. But the type of goal, fam, that's an average goal, man. Jesus Christ. Like, don't coverage.
That's one of the best goals I've ever seen.
What?
In your life?
This is my problem with Alex.
In a long time. The ball's in the box.
Sorry, hold on.
No, because then we have a big issue, because you're not watching football.
See, that's exactly when he said that it's called one of the most fantastic goals. I was like, listen, I've seen so many goals, even in this competition so far, and I can pick at least 3 to 4 goals that are better than Jude Bellingham's goal from yesterday.
What 3? Oh, go 3. What 3 goals are better than Jude Bellingham's goal so far in this tournament? I want to hear it.
Right. One of them, I will go with the one from Fabian Ruiz, right?
Oh!
You remember the one where he took out everyone, he did it and boom, the thing went in. That's one, right? Number 2, you remember the goal from the guy from Georgia? Is it from Georgia? Is it Georgia from Slovakia? What?
2 Turkey goals against Georgia, Arda Güler and...
That one is also in the list. That one, I would choose that one over Bellingham's goal. Do you know, now, yes, I was going to go to that Arda Güler one, right? But there's this other one from the guy from, I think it's Georgia. Damn, I can't remember. So the one he cut him from the right, and then he just whipped it in like, oh, man. No, that's not the...
That was Arda Güler,
Arda Güler against Georgia.
Yeah, but there was another goal. Okay, sorry, I think the one I'm talking about actually came from the right, and it's one of the recent matches. Jesus Christ. So when I remember, I'll tell you.
Are you talking about Switzerland's from outside of the box? That was from the lab. Bodyguard.
There's been so many goals from outside of the box.
Yo,
and listen, and I will tell you, any goal that's been scored from outside the box is better than Jude Bellingham's goal. I'll tell you that for free. No, fact. Like, you see, sometimes you guys don't understand the level of talent, the level of boldness, the level of, how you have to comport yourself to be able to shoot from outside, and then it goes in.
I can say the same thing about Bellingham's. To have the ability, he's back to goal, to get it on target, to get it past the keeper, at the acrobatic skill.
Let me correct you on something.
The ability to get that in the back of the net. Very few players can do that.
Do you know that 80, or will I say 95% of players who have tried a bicycle kick, they've not thought about the target. All they've thought about is, I'm going to do this kick, and hopefully it goes into the post.
A lot of it's fine. A lot of it's fine.
They still have to do it. They still have to get it in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And the skill to do that is,
Fam, there's no skill. You just need to know how to do backflip. Jesus Christ. Like, fam,
I'm with you. I'm with you. But I've always appreciated a different kind of goal. Being somebody that watches Messi and the way he carries the ball, I appreciate a dribble through or a cut from outside and come in much more than a screamer from, 18 yards out. Or, some bicycles, of course, like that Cristiano Ronaldo in the Champions League, obviously, or Gareth Bale even as well. Those ones stick with you. But, those ones that you have to have so much skill. You remember Messi's first goal for Barcelona where Ronaldinho gave him the assist and it was the flick. And I'm this to me is the amount of skill and the timing. And that is my kind of football. I've never been, the big flashy, showy stuff. I think what Klinton is saying is because it wasn't, I guess, a full bicycle. He also wasn't getting pressed by the defenders, if I'm honest.
Well, exactly. He was just there. It wasn't one of them Garnacho moments where it was like the ball was literally flying.
So Garnacho's goal was better than Bellingham's.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just want to hear you say it.
No, listen, I just hope this doesn't get online because it's going to cause some serious uproar because the two of them are just not, you can't compare them. Like, that one from Garnacho to Bellingham, it's like one is the Olympics, the other one is Paralympics. All right, God, sorry. That's not how I meant it. But what I'm trying... No, wait. What I'm trying to say is that one is a... Okay, right.
Digging, man.
Listen. If you're listening to me, I'm sure you understand what I mean. These guys are trying to get me into some well I'm not able to come out from. But what I'm saying is, Jude Bellingham goal is a goal that even Alex will score.
No,
Alex.
Give me 90% of the players at this summer's Euros wouldn't be able to score that goal.
Come on, man.
This is a 10% sort of goal. Not many players can score that goal.
Do you know what happened? He was literally close to the ground when he took that stop. Like, it wasn't like he went a few feet.
He jumped
above.
and then...
Exactly. That one, you would be like, okay, you require some level of calculation. You need to have done further mathematics in school. You need to understand, how to find X and Y. It's like, all these are the things that go through your brain for you to time the ball coming from somewhere and then you lift yourself. Come on, man. Come on.
All right, let's move on a bit from Jude Bellingham here. But I just also want to say... my condolences to Slovakia because they should have won this game.
There's no difference between Slovakia and Croatia. They should go and sit down, Joe. Nonsense set of people. No. They pissed me off yesterday, man. Like, that's exactly... Look at Luka Modric, right? He suffered to get them a goal that could have gotten them into this round of 16, right? And then you leave, they sub you, and then you watch your players, all they need to do is just to defend a goal. Defend a goal. Defend. Is that too hard to do? Is that too much to ask from a team? Just sit down, get every single player behind. At this point, you don't need to score one, you don't need to score two anymore. All you need to do is just to guide that particular one that you've succeeded, you've managed to drop on the pitch, and then you just sit there waiting for what?
For me,
Harry Kane's head?
Slovakia, I was really impressed by them. I think the big difference with Slovakia, and this is what I want to see from England, England have the ability to play like that. Slovakia were direct, they were quick, they were moving the ball through the phases. It was fantastic. It was lovely football to watch. And at certain points, England really didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know how to deal with the attack. It was quick. This is the difference. England were passing the ball around. They had the majority of the possession, but it was flat. It was passing sideways. It was passing backwards. Slovakia were direct to the point, and this is where I think England really did go wrong. They're not clinical enough, and Slovakia really did impress me. I think this is it. Football is a game that you have to play until the final whistle.
This was the big loss.
And as they, I believe now, are saying in England, we were really saved by the Bellingham.
Yeah, listen, and this not anything but to Bellingham. Truth is, he's had a very rough time during this tournament so far, and yesterday he's produced a goal that maybe we might say that's the best goal from England.
This tournament? Yeah.
Yes.
There's not many to choose from.
Well, exactly, right? And he managed to kind of get the English people to have some level of happiness.
I fully agree with what Gareth Southgate said, and you were talking about it. We were talking about this yesterday. How I think Bellingham does look tired. You can tell that he's not quite reaching those full stamina levels that we know he can. But Southgate was asked, did you think about taking him off towards the end? And he said, admitted, yes, I did think about it. But with these big time players, even if they're, flagging a little bit, they're not playing to their best level, you leave them on because these moments like that, the ball comes in the box, 20 seconds to go, a minute to go, these players can pull off stuff like that. They can pull off things like that, and in the big moments, the big-time players show up, and Bellingham's truly done that.
Let's talk really quickly about Gareth Southgate, because he made a very particular decision that I want to focus on in moving Bukayo Saka to left back when Cole Palmer came on. No, you know what? You go.
Talking about Bukayo Saka, it just feels odd to hear Bukayo Saka and then left back. I mean, it's so, I don't understand. But then again, when I was speaking about giving credit to the Slovakians, the truth is, there was a way they played the first half that really impressed me. It's the fact that they were so quick with passes.
Yeah.
So it was like tap, tap, tap.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team that we would not rate in this kind of tournament to tap England, to that level, to that extent. Like, I saw them doing some kind of key passes that meant that they could easily take out 3 players from England, leave them behind, and the next thing they are literally attacking. And that was something I felt like every team who wants to succeed, or any small team that wants to succeed against this, the only team so far I've seen in the Euros who still play that kind of tip-tap, pass to the back, and they're still able to maintain that stuff from beginning to the end so far, is probably Spain, right? They've done it so many times. We've seen it like times that number where they will literally, wear you off by just passing around, right? But Slovakia did it against England, and it works for them so much because England, like I said, what they've done with the smaller teams is they've underestimated them. They felt like, you guys are just coming from, who you're not very popular. Who's the most popular player in Slovakia in the first place? How many of your players play, in the high-level football? I mean, there might be maybe 1 or 2 of them, but it's that thing of everybody has written them off. And now they've come on that pitch to play like this senior, team or these countries where people are most respected when it comes to their football. And they've used it against England. All they needed to do was defend just that goal. And if you look at how they worked that goal out, it was the best thing I've ever seen in this tournament. So I don't know, maybe not the best, but part of the best. It was tap. Look at how they were able to line
the way they were going through.
I was. If England played like this, nobody will be complaining today to say what's wrong with Gareth Southgate. Blah. They did proper tap. It was just beautiful to see. And when the goal came in, yes. My passport, I like my English passport is still intact, okay?
I've got that email draft ready.
Yeah, no, I know. Don't
take it away.
And that's the only reason why I'm still rooting for England. Because I feel like as a citizen of England, right, a part of me wants them to win. But when I see them facing a team that we've written off, and this team are impressing us, in my head at that point, what's clicking is, I want them to win. I just want them to, when they got their first goal, I was like, thank you, Jesus. I love what I love what I was seeing. I was just thinking, right, if England goes, Italy's gone, and then when it was Spain, they were down.
I think that's my biggest grievance with England is and you mentioned it, Spain, I've been really impressed with how they play, and Slovakia played the way in terms of the direct nature of their play. England had 2 shots on target the whole game. They scored 2.
This is literally the Euro final against
This is the
Italy
first
again.
time they've failed to register a shot on target in the first half in a knockout game since Mexico 1986.
Wow.
It's like
the
final
players
again,
we
though.
have, Declan Rice, Kobbie Mainoo, Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka. These players are some of the best players in the world, playing in the best league in the world. They should be getting a shot on target against anybody.
Yeah.
Not even, Slovakia played really well. They should be getting shots on target against Spain, against Germany.
Absolutely.
And I think that's probably my big maybe takeaway from this game. We pass a lot in front of the defence. We like to build up that pressure, but just take a shot. Just have a go from 20 yards, from 25 yards. Who knows what's going to happen? I think it's just, we're trying to, as the saying goes, we're trying to walk it in, and it's just not working.
You see, and this is something I've mentioned, a couple of times in this show, where I've said that the biggest problem with a lot of teams that have come into this tournament is that sense of how they play in the clubs, where they want to pass into the 18-yard box and find a way to get the ball in the net. And I've said it, no. Let's go back to the old times where, you had people like Roberto Carlos shooting from midfield and it's probably going to hit the target. Like, we've seen it a lot with these smaller teams where most of the goals have literally come out from outside the 18-yard box. And these are the goals. These are the goals I'm voting for as some of the best goals. Why? Because these are not the ones we are so used to. We are used to the whole normal football in this day and age, where it's just the Pep Guardiola kind of stuff. They would just want to keep possession. Like, we are tired of it. We want to see different aspects to football again that we used to see from back in the days. We want to see people trying to do what's on their mind. Because the truth is, there are opportunities for people to take these shots. It's not like Bellingham couldn't have taken shots from outside of the 18. I remember once in that game where somebody tried to do this pass from, I don't know if it was Kyle Walker, one of them, and then Jude Bellingham was just angry because he was like, no, pass. I'm like, fam, Jude Bellingham, you should be the one taking responsibility when it comes to even trying to hit the target on the post. It's not just about passing. I understand what you guys do in Real Madrid and stuff, but you can clearly see that these smaller teams are taking advantage of shooting from outside the 18-yard box, and a lot of them are going into the post. Maybe if they had tried, they would have gotten maybe some shot on targets. But they didn't. They tried to pass. And if you have a team that's as solid as what Slovakia did yesterday with their defense, yes, at some point they got tired. They defended for most part of that game, right? And towards the end, I understood that, okay, you've been trying to defend England, I'm not going to lie. During the second half, after a few changes, like Cole Palmer coming in, what's the name? God help my brain today in the name of Jesus. There's something off going. But anyways, when a few of the subs came in, the game did change, right? We saw the England we wanted to see in most of the games, right? But then again, these guys just were defending really well. How many of the shots, how many attempts was England able to get in the 18-yard box? So why don't you try doing stuff outside of the 18-yard? Do like people like Romania, do like Turkey. All this is working for them. So why don't you copy the same? You have people who are capable of delivering. I saw Bukayo Saka as well. He would normally do it in Arsenal. And I was surprised as to why is it that when they have this ball, they're just looking for some. It's like nobody wants to take responsibility of saying, okay, it might not go in, but at least I'm still trying. Nobody wants to shoot it and then it goes up and then they blame you.
Especially when you're playing against a team who is defending. Slovakia was sitting back, banks of four, defending, midfielding. It's not going to work if you're just going to sit in front of the defence and pass the ball around. Yeah. Take those shots, put those balls through the into the 18-yard box, close to the goalkeeper. Test them, make them move about, put them under pressure. If you're just going to sit in front of the defence and pass the ball across one side to the other, put a cross in,
corners,
wait for their big centre-backs to head the ball away. Harry Kane's not going to be able to compete with
exactly.
them. It just doesn't make any sense, and it's...
And we're going to give
frustrating.
We're going to give a very huge credit to Ivan Toney, though. That's somebody we've not mentioned, because the moment he came in, there was some level of changes that I realized with the England team. It was like
fire.
Yeah, man. You see, even if he doesn't touch the ball, right? It's just that disturbance he kept on giving the defenders there, right? I don't know where you guys were watching it, but I was just listening to the commentators speak, and they were saying, "Nah, listen, just this pressure that this man has brought into this defense is enough for England, right?" And you could clearly tell that he kept on winning these fouls for England. Why? Because he was doing everything possible to take advantage of the defenders. He has the height, he has the strength, and he's very tricky. When you look at Ivan Toney, he's some kind of sneak. You would think he's a fraudster on a good day if he wasn't on the pitch. But you can just tell that he knows how to do some kind of, he would trick you. And anything for him to take advantage of you, he would do it. And he did it so perfectly well yesterday.
Well, England have struggled against Serbia, Denmark, Slovenia, and Slovakia. And then they will have to take on Switzerland. And I think this, Alex, is finally when they will get caught for playing the football they have been playing. That's going to be a massive match. Obviously, Switzerland coming off a huge win against Italy, so we will preview that game on day of course. But from not so good football to some very good football. Nico Williams and Spain absolutely crushing Georgia. One thing I took away from this game, obviously Spain did dominate in the end, but they started off, we saw bits and pieces of Spain where they didn't look so good. And Lenormand scored an own goal. Unlucky. Yep. It is what it is. And I said, okay, but you know what? Now I want to see how they react. Because if you look at Spain from the last Euros, this would have shaken them. They would have done what you were talking about, the passing back and forth, the possession ball. Not this time. They finally faced some adversity, though they gave it to themselves, and they bounced back. And I think this is actually the kind of match that they needed to play ahead of Germany. because they actually did go down. They knew what it was like to be down one. Spain haven't, they've beaten every team comfortably so far. But the way this team turned around, they're the best team in the Euros.
Fact. It's hard to go against it. I think the thing that really impresses me about Spain is, I talked about the possession, how they've moved away from that possession style. The way we think of Spanish football, we think of that. And I think this was, like you said, they've been tested, but I feel like they haven't been put in an adverse situation until yesterday. And I feel like, in a way, as backwards as it sounds, Georgia going 1-0 up was probably the worst thing for Georgia, because Spain were like,
I agree.
It puts the flame under them.
Yeah, and
It puts
from
the flame
then,
under them.
as soon as Georgia went ahead, you could just tell Spain it was something kicked into gear, something changed. There was like a switch in the mechanism, and they were really impressive and put Georgia to the sword.
And again, by committee as well. We saw, who else? Rodri stepping up for Spain.
My man.
The classic Rodri just on the outside, keep it on the ground, just smack it into the corner. That was great. Fabian Ruiz got on the board as well. He had a fantastic game after, the first 30 minutes, I'd say. But guys, I really need to talk about one player, because I think he has been the player of the tournament, and no one's changing my mind about this. Nico Williams. And this is the thing. I was talking to producer Ben, because he was saying, no, for me, it's Fabian Ruiz. And I said, listen, Fabian has been brilliant. He has been. And he was naming, all the stats. Oh, he had 100%. It's not about the stats. Look at the football that Nico is playing. He's so free. He's hungry. He's going up against anyone. He's fearless, like Klinton always says. Yeah. I love the determination he has. I love him and Lamine, playing on the wings together. It's just, it makes me so happy.
There's something about those two players I think Spain are very lucky to have them for. These are two young lads. These are kids. They are not even up to lads yet. These are kids on the pitch in that kind of way. I feel if I was the people they were playing against yesterday, I would sue Spain to court. Yeah, because I feel that's an insult to us. To bring kids to come violate us on the pitch like that. And do you even know what this is the point where it even got me more upset. After the game, they were doing their kid stuff on how to share what they like. I'm like, wait.
They were literally teasing
now, you guys are taking the piss. You don't win your opponent with a 4-0. Sorry, okay, it was a 4-1. Sorry. Yeah, it was a 4-0 because it was an own goal. They scored the 5 goals. Right? But it's the fact that you finish all of that, you come off the pitch, and you guys are doing that kind of game. You could clearly tell that they are kids. And these kids, why it's so crazy is the fact that they don't play as kids. They go into the pitch, forget they are kids, and they start playing like people who have been playing football for the last 15 years of their life or the last 20 years of their life. It's crazy, because I was seeing what was going on between the two wings. Nico Williams there, and you have Lamine Yamal.
Nice one!
Thank you, Jesus. You don't understand how many years.
Don't leave me hanging, man. Klinton, don't leave me hanging. In a way, though, they are still playing like kids in that sense. They're playing well beyond their age in terms of the maturity they're showing on the pitch and the ability. But they are playing like kids in that sense that they're just going out and they're having fun. They're enjoying their football. They're taking shots. They're taking on defenders. It is a joy to watch.
You could tell that somebody has probably said to them, go enjoy yourselves on the pitch.
Just have fun.
Make sense? So nobody is coming to say to them that, oh, no, you have to do this, you have to do that. No, they are just saying, yo, you two. See, in Nigeria, there's these two guys called Aki and Popo, right? Aki and Popo, they're like the legends of Nollywood film. Right? And they are two pairs. We used to think they were twins, but we didn't even know they were just friends. They were related. They refused to grow. Oh, sorry. Actually, one of them is he loves my stuff on social media. So in case he sees this, please, Aki, I didn't say you refuse to grow. It was nature. They are just like that, right? They are small, but they are like fathers. These are old men. Not old men. These are like proper elderly, matured men. And whenever any film they get on, just know that the film you are going to laugh till you die. You have to make sure you have some kind of pill that will reduce you from killing yourself when laughing, right? And they gave me Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal were literally Aki and Popo in that game, and you will see an adult saying, two of you just go cause havoc. Because Ake and Popo, in any film they are in, they are causing havoc. Whatever it is, they are just havoc. This is all they do. So Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams yesterday, they were just giving me the vibe of, somebody said to them, you two coconut head. I wish you guys were Nigerians, you already understand all these little words. They say, you two coconut head, just go there and go just cause mayhem. And this is what these two boys have done. The heat is coming from the right, and then the heat is also coming. So you, even as a defender, defending against these two, and then you now have one of the most sophisticated midfield. I'm talking about Rodri. You now have Fabian Ruiz, who is like a magician. For me, what else are you looking for in a team? What else do you need in a team? Yes, Morata is a striker. I think Morata is still people think he's all right, he's there, but he's still he's not really been the fit for that perfect team when it comes to Spain. For me, I've seen better strikers, probably who are not performing, but, you know, the Spanish team is just too much, man. Those two boys, Nico Williams, hey!
I like that they haven't lost that innocence in a way. I hate it when quite often young players get criticised for maybe adding that flair element to their game, you know, trying to take on players with the keepy-uppies and
flair. It's not like, I don't know what the word, like Garnacho, like very cocky. But like, they are having fun with it.
But in a way, I like it. Obviously, there comes a point when if you're doing it and it doesn't work, yes, start playing proper football. But I like the fact that they have the confidence, the fearlessness to, you know, do a few step-overs. This is what, you know, growing up, you see these videos of Ronaldo doing the step-overs, Ronaldinho doing the keepy-uppies or whatever. It brings me back that sort of romantic feeling about football and that sort of magical element where you just enjoy watching them, and you could sit there for hours and just watch these lads play. They're fantastic.
I think that's the thing with Spain is they've been the most enjoyable football to watch as well. They're just brilliant. And like Alex said, like you feel, it's like a heartwarming feeling inside.
Those are the things that we've lost in football, though. We've lost that ability to see football as some kind of entertaining sport, instead of just seeing it as a sport that we just need goals. No, it shouldn't be just about goals. It should be more of how, you know, the fans, people who are sitting at home, they want to, like you said, during the days of Ronaldinho, there were things you would see him do on the pitch, and the moment you hear that, why do you think a lot of us still want to go watch Lionel Messi play, even after all these years he's entertained us? It's because we just know that somehow he's still probably going to do one of these things that will make you feel like, this guy is a GOAT, like this guy is a God-level player. There's just something crazy. And this is what we've seen with the likes of people like Nico Williams. This guy is not scared at that age, and I just think that there's a juju walking in that guy. There's just something that's making me feel like, who gives you this boldness? And you see Yamal, you know, trying. There's something he does with his left leg when he's. I'm like, wait, are you on drugs? You just know that this is just natural. These are natural talents. You know, it's just so raw. Whoever is scouting these guys, this person deserves an award in some kind of Hollywood Walk of Fame or whatever it is. But these boys are too good. Yesterday, I may have not maybe rated, you know, Lamine Yamal because of a couple of games in Barcelona here and there. But just watching him in this tournament, he's a blessing to football.
Welcome to the show. I've been telling you guys. This means that Spain are now taking on Germany, yes, in the quarterfinals. What feels like the final of the Euro, in my opinion. This is going to be potentially the biggest match in this tournament. But we will get to that on Friday because we have another massive match this evening. As I mentioned at the top of the show, guys, SportyTV will be showing France and Belgium. And to join us, who better than Sven Klaas, our Belgian football expert, to talk about this match. Welcome to the show, Sven.
I have no sound?
Yeah, you're here. Can you hear us? Bit of technical difficulties with our friend Sven. All right, we'll figure that out. Let's talk about this match. I know you're going for Belgian heavily over there.
Me? No.
Who? Could it be me, the English fan? This one's going to be interesting because we obviously have seen or not seen France really perform. And we've seen Belgium kind of wake up slowly throughout the tournament, but still, especially with Romelu Lukaku, have been very unlucky in this tournament. Right, Alex?
I think France they've been probably below England, they've been the biggest disappointment of this tournament in terms of how they've played.
I think we do have Sven with us.
We have Sven
now.
back.
Sven, are you with us? Yes.
I'm with you. Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you for
Sven,
being
sorry,
here.
how do you call the name? Help me.
Sven.
Oh, Sven.
Yes.
Funny enough, I was literally going to call you Seven, you know. I'm sorry, has anybody called you Seven before?
No.
Oh, wow, right.
There's a
Mostly
first
my
for
name is
everything.
often a problem.
Oh, no, I think you need to go to Africa. Trust me, nobody will call you Sven. They will say, hey, how far, Seven? What's in the happen?
Okay.
Sven, massive match this evening, obviously, and a massive rivalry, Belgium and France. Obviously, we were just saying how Belgium have slowly looked to be improving more and more as the tournament has gone on, but still very unlucky with the likes of Romelu Lukaku, really struggling to find the back of the net here. How are you feeling, and what's the atmosphere like for ahead of this match, Belgium and France?
Yeah, Romelu Lukaku was of course very unlucky. He has 3 disallowed goals. So if you could have scored them all, he would be top scorer at the moment with some other players, like you already mentioned in your show. I saw. Belgium started really unlucky with a loss against Slovakia. No one expected that. We have to be honest. We expected easy 3 wins in a row, but like we all know, there aren't any easy games anymore. Even the Ukraine we were really struggling to have a scoreless draw. So, despite the game tactics of our manager Domenico Tedesco, and of course temperature is now rising. In Düsseldorf, we're now 4.5 hours before the game. I think most of the people expect France will win the game, but yesterday we saw Georgia and Slovakia had an advantage in the beginning, so maybe we can be a surprise too.
Oh, man, I really love the fact that he's hoping to be a surprise. Now, Sven, the truth is, when you look at, when you see the level, the quality of players you have in Belgium, and like you said, apart from England being one of the most useless teams in... Sorry, and Sven, by the way, if you're not very used to me, I'm just the guy that likes saying it the way it comes out from the heart, okay? Now, fact is, I'm sure you would agree with me, that England has been total rubbish. Are we on the same page? No, I mean, listen, you don't have to be scared of anything. I know Alex is here. Alex does not have any right to cut you off or anything. Don't worry. The power is between myself and Sarah Purara, okay? So talk to me. Okay. England has been... I said useless before, but let me add one more prefix. Totally useless, right? Yes, thank you. All right, good.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Now, the next team again that's been very useless has been France, like you said, fact. Now, I'm trying to think about the level of the expectation that's been, we've wished from France and England, and I think that, England is definitely still way below, right? Now, Sven, do you think that with what's been happening with France, in this tournament so far, Belgium, I can't really say that they've been the best either. They've literally been...
No. A lot of teams are under expectations. We have to be honest. A lot of top teams are under expectations. Also our other neighbors, the Netherlands, to give another example. So... now it's ready to step up. Maybe they didn't need so much quality to get to the first round, and now they need it, of course. In Belgium, we all know we have excellent strikers, but could be hurtful in the back. So it will be very interesting to see this evening.
Right, and if there's let's imagine you were the coach, what would you think you would love to do in your team to produce a win against France today?
Yeah, well, I already saw the potential lineup, but in Belgium we think otherwise. We think he will play with 2 defensive midfielders. So again with Amadou Onana and Aurel Mangala back. So Tielemans will move. And also as a right winger, we will play again with Rodi Lukebakio from Sevilla. So Leandro Trossard from Arsenal will be benched again. So that will the expected will be our expected lineup for this evening.
Sven, what's been for you the biggest disappointment of this tournament so far for Belgium? Obviously, we know the players they have, their quality. Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best players in the world. Lukaku on his day can be fantastic. What's been I'd say probably the area where you felt most disappointed with how this Belgium side have performed?
Yeah, everyone names those two players, maybe four if you're really positive. But yeah, the rest is just average, and we're not anymore the golden generation of 2018. Everyone knows that. We don't have Eden Hazard anymore on the midfield, to name one. Even Thibaut Courtois is enjoying his holidays somewhere. We don't know where, but yeah. But when our best man is our goalkeeper Koen Casteels, that says something already. So we know we're still building, but like in the tournament, there isn't much time, and we can go out tonight. We have to be clear about that. It's still France, so.
One player I'm really looking forward to watching tonight for Belgium, and tell me if you agree, is Jeremy Doku, because I think this is.
Are you reading my mind? No. I think no, Sarah. You know how many times now in this show, whatever I want to say, Sarah just goes on. It's like she's reading. She has this. Maybe they're giving you this earpiece to be listening to what's going on in my mind. No, I think that.
No, but Sven, talk to me, because Jeremy Doku, I think, can be a massive player in this match tonight against France, because obviously we know he's super pacey. But he's going up against the likes of Jules Koundé, even N'Golo Kanté kind of leans to his side as well. This, I think, a lot of this game, I think, is going to be on Jeremy Doku and what he can do. Do you agree?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I mean, I forgot I was not Belgian. Sorry.
Oh. Like in the first game, he was played as a right winger, so not as a left winger, like he plays at Manchester City, of course. He's really a sensation during the season, but he's still young, and at the ball he's really good. But in this game, we think Dodi Lukebakio can be more important because he runs without the ball. And I think in this case, it will be more important because Doku, everyone sees it. He has not one defender on him. He has two defenders on him. And that doesn't suit him at the moment. It's really difficult for him to struggle. He doesn't make any goals, just like Romelu Lukaku. So we expect more at this moment from Dodi Lukebakio as a right winger.
Yeah.
All right, but of course, he's a very talented player, of course. No doubt about that.
I think, like you said, there's many teams that haven't really performed yet to the standards that we hold them to, and one, of course, being France, and one player in particular, Kylian Mbappe. Now, we heard that he's really struggling with his mask and that it's had to be changed several times. He's sweating a lot in it. He can't see. Obviously, it's a very difficult adjustment when you don't usually wear one. Totally understand. But, Alex, there's something inside of me that is saying Mbappe hasn't woken up yet. Is it time that Mbappe will now kind of come out of this shell and really perform to the level that we know he can?
You think at some point he has to. He is...
Well, it's a do or die tonight.
Arguably the best player in the world at the moment. We've seen him perform on the biggest stage for PSG, obviously not quite reaching that Champions League final. And I feel like when I think of Mbappe, I think of a big-time player, and the quality he has, he should be producing better than he has been this tournament. He's been obviously plagued with a little bit of an injury, and although it's not something that you use your face a lot, you're obviously heading, but it gets in the way. Wearing the mask, it's the periphery vision, as you said, it sort of affects it, throws you off kilter. So I think when you're playing with that, it takes some time to adjust. So hopefully, having trained with it and having got used to playing with that, you would hope that he's slowly getting into a rhythm where he feels more comfortable. And you've got to, even if I picked Bellingham for an example, he may play badly for 80, 85 minutes. He may not be up to it. He may be struggling. But when those big moments come, he turns up. And Mbappe always has that quality to do that. So I think Belgium have to be wary at all times, whether Mbappe's not on fire or if he's, still finding his way. I think he can always turn up and get a goal at the most important moment.
If I was a team playing against France, I don't think I would see Kylian Mbappe currently as a threat. Because, even before the mask came to his face, like we said, France has not really been that spectacular. We saw some kind of misses from Kylian Mbappe. Like, for a Kylian Mbappe level of a player, you've literally just said that he is a, I don't know if you said arguably or unarguably.
I think arguably the best player in the world at the moment.
Yeah, we've heard people say that. But then again, for you to be the best player in the world and miss a couple of chances that we've seen in the tournament so far, you would clearly tell that there's just something off with not just even the team, even the players themselves. Like we said, the only big countries that we've expected something from and they've delivered so far. We talk about people like Spain, and then to an extent Germany, whom we think we're not too sure if they've been tested to the level we believe they should have been tested too. I mean, Spain, they've been tested with Italy. Italy, they are not the best. They're out of the tournament already. This time around is going to be a proper test between two really strong teams in the tournament, Belgium, France. Now, what is going to happen in the game? I don't think France will be much of a threat if Belgium would decide to step up their game. They have the qualities to actually win France, if we want to be honest with ourselves. Like, we look at the kind of team they have. We mentioned Jeremy Doku, who is somebody I enjoy watching in Manchester City. You mentioned something about, I don't know who was saying about having to people sent to Doku. Doku has that capability of running past two defenders if he wants to. He has that level, that skill level, the skill set. He's fast as well. He knows how to get the box in the 18-yard box, and that's the one thing we've not seen so far in this tournament from him. Kevin De Bruyne, who I think is currently probably the best midfielder in the world, apart from maybe the likes of Toni Kroos, who we've always mentioned. Right now, talking about the young bloods, the guys who are still having to take football, Kevin De Bruyne is there. So why would you have Kevin De Bruyne, have Lukaku, who, apart from the fact that he's cursed and he needs to go rectify something from his village back in Africa to help him score the goals? We feel like he should be scoring. Now, Belgium has everything it takes. Today, what am I expecting? I'm expecting, if they step up, they can win France. Easy.
Sven, do you see Kylian Mbappe as a threat?
Yeah, for sure. And also our manager, Domenico Tedesco. So that's the reason why he probably will play again with two defensive midfielders. And if you saw the last game against Ukraine, the last 30 minutes, we were already playing for 1 point. So that already says something. So no doubt that he will do the same against France. So we have to be dangerous on the counter-attack. And like he said, with Kevin De Bruyne, he can give every pass he wants. He sees things quicker than everyone else. And with Doku and Lukaku, we have some very good attackers. But like it really depends on the goals, and we haven't seen them from them so far in the tournament. So, that's a huge miss for our team, and then probably things could have been something else. But now, we struggled through the first phase, and now with facing France, we can go out. We're at this moment the confidence is still big after the draw against Ukraine. We weren't really positive about the team, we have to be honest. We were thinking maybe the first team will boot by the fans, their own team, and even Kevin De Bruyne said we're not going to cheer for the fans. So that was really something remarkable for our small country, that we weren't pleased with 1 point against Ukraine. So, but now the hopes are again very high. So we will see in a few hours.
Okay, Sven, I have two questions for you then. Will Romelu Lukaku score tonight? And the score prediction for tonight's match, please.
Yes, I have to be very positive. So I say yes, Romelu Lukaku will score. He was training really hard last week on penalties. So that could also be the case. It's still one of the options for this evening when it will be a close game. Maybe we hope to get penalties. So he was training really a lot about it, I'm told. So... but in the end, I think France could be better. So I think maybe 1-0 for France.
Oof, I know that one hurts, Sven. But thank you so much for joining us today. I hope it goes your way. I hope you enjoyed the match, and let's see what they can do.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sven.
Thank you, Sven.
Let's look at what our predictions are for this match before we move along to Portugal and Slovenia. So, Belgium, France, what do we have? Oh, they don't want to show us. I think I went 3-2. I think I went 3-2 for France. I want goals. At this point, I'm just picking what I want to see. So I think I went 3-2. Here we go. 3-2 to France. Klinton has gone 3-1 to France. Alex Ashmore giving Belgium the 2-1 win. Gary's giving Belgium a 3-2 win. Alex Bagley going for the 1-0 to France, just like our friend Sven said as well. And the viewers are going 2-0 to France. We are all over the board again for this one. I mean, as these games go on, it's so hard to tell. It is. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
And big shout out to Sven though, because I've never seen somebody. He's literally just said France would win the country where he's meant to.
To be honest.
I understand honesty is very good, but
I'm not sure I
mean,
can do the
sometimes just
same.
lie, man. Just lie. Like,
Hey.
you know the truth in your heart, but
I'm
just
not sure I
lie.
can do the same with England.
Yeah, Delulu over there. All right, as I said, Portugal will be taking on Slovenia in the final match this evening. Portugal coming off a massive loss to Georgia. Obviously, they had a very rotated side. Cristiano Ronaldo and Diogo Costa were both in the lineup, but mostly they're bench players. But when I look at this team still, Alex, you have up front João Felix, Cristiano Ronaldo, Francisco Conceição, Pedro Neto, João Neves, João Palhinha, Diogo Dalot. Like, this is a good team.
This is, apart from Spain, I think this Portuguese team, they're probably the best in this tournament on paper. Like, when you look at what they have.
But they still lost 2-0.
That's what we don't. This is why the tournament is weird. Like, this is the reason why you can't just sit down and say this team is gonna just go sit down and enjoy the game. Like, just grab get some popcorn, gin and tonic or something, and just chill out, enjoy yourself. Because anything happens in this tournament. If anybody would tell you that Italy would be gone by now, and then they're still going to...
I think we weren't sure about Italy from the beginning. I think that's fair to say. But I don't think we would have been saying Slovenia versus Portugal in the round of 16.
Well, exactly.
Slovenia obviously drawing with England. Another team like Slovakia, maybe like a Romania that we were not expecting to come out of the group stage, Alex. And here they are taking on Portugal, taking on Cristiano Ronaldo, a superstar team, as Klinton just said. Can they do it?
I doubt it. But, going off that England performance against Slovenia, I think, I'm more leaning towards how poor England were rather than, I think Slovenia did well. I think they put up a stern test, but I feel like when you come up against the attack that Portugal have with the names we've mentioned, Bernardo Silva, Cristiano Ronaldo, Rafael Leao, who perhaps hasn't performed to the best of his ability so far.
Perhaps they not start, I'm curious.
But yes, these players, João Felix, some of the best players in the world playing for some of the top teams at the top level. When you're coming up against that quality of player, it's hard to defend and eke out a draw, I guess, for 90 minutes and then go into extra time. I think the longer it goes on, the more it favours Portugal. And I doubt, when I look at Slovenia's attacking prowess, Benjamin Šeško, who's really impressed me this season at RB Leipzig, but hasn't really converted that over to this summer, and it's probably been their biggest miss this summer. I think if they were to get a result, Benjamin Šeško needs to be on his best form, because if you're not able to get at least one goal against Portugal, the longer it goes on, the longer they're in front of goal, they're passing, they're creating chances, the more difficult it gets. And I can see Portugal coming away, and I think they will be motivated after that performance in the last group game. So I can see Portugal coming away with a 2-0 win.
Well, also the fact that their defense is incredible. I mean, when you're talking about Slovenia trying to score a goal, I mean, they have to go through Diogo Costa, of course,
yes,
a fantastic keeper, and then the likes of João Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, 41-year-old Pepe, shout out to Pepe, and Nuno Mendes, who's just been brilliant in the first two games there. He's been one of the best defenders in this tournament, in my opinion. But
sometimes when he even plays, you would think he's literally a left winger.
He is, the way he comes up and creates.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's
and
a good thing he's in my fantasy. Actually, I think I had to sum it up.
No, let's not go to fantasy. Let's talk about reality for now. Let's talk about reality.
Klinton, can Slovenia win this game?
I think anything is possible. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's been the story of this tournament so far. Now, like I said, you look at the Portuguese game on paper, right? There's no reason why they should not be, giving Slovenia at least a 5-0 win. Ronaldo should be having a hat-trick on a good day if he wants to be very serious. But then again, like I said, you can't write any team off in this tournament. I mean, tomorrow's game, I know it's not time to speak about them. I look at people like Romania. I think Romania could easily take out, Netherlands. All these are, it's easy. I know I used to support Netherlands. If you notice, I've not mentioned them in like a couple of days because I've given up on them already.
Are you trying to hope that we forget that you picked them as the winner for the Euros?
All right.
No, but truly, sorry, I'm just looking at the Portuguese team. They have no reason to even have a draw.
There's too much quality in there.
It's just way too much.
Give me a scoreline. Alex has gone 2-0 to Portugal.
I think for this one, easily, maybe Portugal will probably have one own goal, and it's probably going to come from João Cancelo or one of these guys. But I'm seeing a 3-1 win.
3-1-0.
Yeah, for Portugal. Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-0 to Portugal. I think they're going to keep it clean. I think they're too good in the back. That's all we have for you guys today. So much football to talk about. We really had a
and
lot of drama.
I'm rooting for my boy Rafael Leao, by the way. I understand
let's see if he gets
I
to
understand
start.
that people have written him off. People have said Rafael Leao is not it, blah, blah, blah. No, I still trust that boy. Today, he might be the Rafael Leao we've always seen. I'm just hoping that he would not start doing all those divings that end up getting the yellow cards and stuff. Let him just be very careful with that one, and I'm sure he will be fine.
Yes, let's see what Rafael Leao can do tonight. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, follow us on all of our socials. Again, Sporty live tonight, 4 p.m. WAT, 3 p.m. GMT, ahead of Belgium and France. And we are back again tomorrow, as always, because as Klinton said, we have Netherlands and Romania and Austria and Turkey rounding up the round of 16. So we will be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. Enjoy the footy.
Boy.